Okay, let's look at question number 7. It says solve for the indicated variable. All right, so for A, we're solving, it asks us actually to solve for R. So to get R by itself, well, what are we doing with pi and h? We're multiplying, so the opposite of multiplication is division. So if I divide, I get A over pi h equals R squared. We know how to get rid of R, the squared rather. We take the square root, so we're left with A over pi h equals R. Now notice, normally I write plus or minus, but here I'm only going to write plus, because in the problem, it says R is greater than 0. And R greater than 0 means that the R value has to be positive. In other words, if this is a formula correlated to area, and if we're playing with area, the area in the real world is not negative. So we're not going to play with negative areas, hence we're only concern ourselves with the positive. Now I have to stipulate B is going to be pretty rough, so just be aware of that. We have to be kind of sneaky with how we approach this one. The sort of idea that I have here is that if I can put it in the sort of ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0 format, then I know I can plug in the quadratic formula and I'll get my zeros. Okay, so what does that mean? That means I'm going to write it kw squared minus cw equals r. I'm going to subtract r from both sides, and I get kw squared minus cw minus r equals 0. Now this is where it gets weird. The k is a, negative c is b, and r, negative r is c. So a is k, b is negative c, and the c that we usually use for the quadratic formula is negative r. Plug in the quadratic formula, which is negative b, so it's going to be negative c plus or minus square root b squared, so negative c squared minus 4a, a is k, c, which is negative r, all over 2a, which is 2k. So I clean it up, and I get c plus or minus square root c squared, negative becomes a plus 4k all over 2k. And I think that's sufficient, and we'll say that this is the final answer. So there you have it. So if they see something like that on the final, you're just basically plugging in letters into the quadratic formula. So hopefully that makes sense. See you in the next video.